Mum was a single mum only because Dad was in prison. And Dad had been imprisoned for 15 years as a result of a murder. And pretty much we knew where he was, but nobody felt compelled to include him in any of the planning or concerns regarding the boys, regarding his kids. And so I would send him updates at appropriate times, court matters, review reports, etc., etc. I never met him and I never spoke to him on the phone. But during my time of working with the family, he was released from prison. And he came along to the next review meeting because he had moved back in with the family. And he had brought a card and a gift for me. And I was a little overwhelmed by this man because it was my first time meeting someone who had quite an extensive stint in prison, and I was all of 23, for God's sakes, I was a baby. And he walked in and he was a strapping man. He was a very handsome man, and he gave me a gift. And I said, "I'm sorry, I'm a little confused. What's this about?" And he said, "I wanted to thank you for actually including me in all the correspondence that you could in relation to my boys. You were the only person while I was in prison that gave me any updates as to what was happening with the boys." And I don't believe I was doing anything extraordinary at that point. It was pretty much within the realm of serving the guardianship parents, and he still had guardianship of his boys. But it was a lesson that has stuck with me over 35 years now. I'll never forget that moment. And he was made out to be a monster from all of the reports that I had read and everything that I had heard about him. And yet this simple thing about keeping him informed about his boys was an incredible thing for him. Like, it meant a lot to him. He felt that he was being treated as a person. Now, I also needed then to assess him and see if he was safe to be around the boys. So I had a long-term plan in mind that I knew I had to have him engaged in order, upon his release, to determine whether he caused a risk to the children. So that was also playing in my mind. I can't engage someone if I have absolutely no rapport with them and I haven't given them any reason to trust me. So from a worker perspective, that was in my mind. But from a rights perspective, a child's rights, as well as the parental right, that was another big contributor to my action.
No, that's quite an inspiring story. And I think a lot of the times just treating people with dignity and respect can go a really long way, especially when someone's been outcast like that.